Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most OP Astarion build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. So Astaraion can actually be one of the strongest characters in this game, especially if you go with the Ascended Astarion route. So I'll be covering one of the strongest builds in this game. So we're going to start as a rogue here. This gives us the ability to do sneak attacks, dealing additional damage when we have an advantage against a foe. So if you have someone nearby a target, you're able to get advantage there, so that's one of the easiest ways to get that. As for our ability scores, dexterity is going to be an important stat for us, but so is wisdom, because it's actually best to add in the monk as we play as Astarion. I'll show you why, because the damage potential of this build is incredible. So dexterity obviously being a very important stat, we're going to have it at 16, constitution at 14, and then we can put our wisdom up to somewhere around there. You can potentially, I guess we'll go 16 and try to get our wisdom up to 16 as well. So something like this for ability scores works well. And as for our skills, I think acrobatics is one that we want to have very high. So you can, if you don't want sleight of hand, you can go with the acrobatics. Obviously sleight of hand works really well, but you can also go wizard with knock. The reason I like acrobatics is it resists getting shoved, so that is one we can go with. And persuasion and performance are good, but not ones that you really need too much, so insight can actually be a better one. So we're going to go with that for our abilities. And yeah, I'll be going over to gear at the end of this video, so stay tuned for that. This is actually an extremely powerful build and probably a top 3 build in the game. At level 2, we get the bonus action hide, dash, and disengage, so that is really nice, useful, and we'll go with that there. You can't really choose anything, but at level 3, we had to choose our subclass. Anything but the worst class in the game, the Arcane Trickster. So Assassin can be good for burst damage on turn 1, so it gives you advantage on a creature that haven't made an attack roll yet. Gives you a successful attack roll against a surprise creature as a critical hit, and then you get your bonus action back when you start combat. So if you attack someone, you don't lose your action anymore. However, the Thief's extra bonus action is the best choice here. So we're going to go with that. Early game, you can use hand crossbows, go buy them from Daemon in Act 1, and they're really useful. But after level 3, we're going to actually subclass into the Monk now, and this is where it starts to get crazy. So with the Monk, we get a bonus action Flurry of Blows. You can see where this is going. We have 2 bonus actions, and this deals a ton of damage. We also get the unarmored defense to add our wisdom modifier to our armor class, which is why I said that we want to have a pretty good amount of wisdom there. And we also get the dexterous attack, so attacks with monk weapons and arms scaled with dexterity instead of strength if your dexterity is higher. We also get key points, and we can make a bonus action unarmed attack. So we got great uses for our bonus actions already at level 4. And at level 5, we get another key point, unarmed movement. We get the patient defense. Stuff we already have, but it is not bad to get the patient's defense, but we're going to continue on into level 3 here, where we get to choose our subclass, and the by far best choice here is the Way of the Open Hand, giving us further bonus action attacks. So this is 2 punches, boom boom, and it deals a lot more damage than what it says there. I'll show you that in a moment. So with this, we want to be taking, basically you want to unarmed attack and topple them over, so you knock them prone. Super useful, and I'll get into the combat side of this in a moment, but it becomes very, very strong. At level 4, we get to choose another feat, and at this point, we want to use our unarmed attack. So Tavern Brawler makes the most sense here. You can take this now, or we can add up our dexterity a little bit to give ourselves more armor class. So the choice is yours. I think that going with the Tavern Brawler is the best choice. We should have had our Constitution at 15 to take it up to 16 here. Although you can build into strength a little bit if you want, but strength potions make this build the most powerful in the game. At level 5 Monk, we get an extra attack, and we get the stunning strikes. These are actually really good. It's an action, so you can do an attack, and you can use this in addition. So since we get the extra attack, we can stun 2 people. Stun basically makes him useless for the turn, which is very good for crowd control, making us a pretty good class overall. At level 6, this is when we want to stop using weapons, because we get the manifestation of soul, body, and mind. So this can add an additional necrotic damage. I like the manifestation of mind if you have the resonance stone, because that 4 to 7 psychic damage will be doubled, because the resonance stone applies vulnerability to psychic damage. But radiant damage is also really good, so pick one of these that you prefer. We also get the key empowered strikes, overcoming resistance and immunity to non-physical damage, or to physical damage. So anytime you attack someone, you're attacking like it's a magical damage. And we also get more key points and more movement speed, which is nice. But we also get the wholeness of body, so regain half your key points and enter a temporary state of wholeness where you regain key points and have an extra bonus action. So we get 3 bonus actions. This gets crazy. And at level 7 Monk, we get ourselves the Stillness of Mind, so we apply Stillness of Mind to remove Charm to Frightened. We also get Evasion, so it lets you dodge out of the way of certain spells. If there was going to be a spell that would inflict half damage on a successful dexterity saving throw, it'll inflict no damage and only half if you fail. So furthermore, we take less damage. Extremely useful. The monks are actually kind of defensive in ways. At level 8, we get ourselves another key point, and we get to choose another feat. Now, this is honestly one you can go with either alert, or we can take our dexterity for further armor class. Wisdom will also increase our armor class. Both of these are going to increase our damage output too, so you can go with which one of these you prefer, but dexterity gives us increased initiative, so it's also good if we wanted to use maybe a weapon as well. But at level 9, this is where the build all kind of comes together. So we get our advance on our movement, so we don't get slowed down by difficult terrain, and we can jump an additional 6 meters. And then we also get the key resonation punch. So this is cool. You can do this is an action. You can punch them, makes the key resonate with yours, and then you got a bonus action key punch as well. But you also have the key resonation blast. This doesn't use an action or a bonus action. It's free. You use 1 key point. And detonate the key, resonating it within you, hitting the creature within, and anyone within 5 meters. This is our only crowd control damage, but it does 3d6 of force damage, which is actually pretty good. So we're going to go with that there. And I'll go over the gear options now. So I'm just wearing this armor for the aesthetic purposes. This is going to set our armor class 18. That's not what we want. We actually want to go with, once you're in Act 3, you can get the Vest of Soul Rejuvenation. Prior to that, you want to use the Graceful Cloth or the Mighty Cloth, so either of these works well. The Vest of Soul Rejuvenation, however, sets us up to deal a ton of damage. So what this does is it gives us the ability to heal for 1 to 4 whenever we 1 to 4 health whenever we succeed on a saving throw against a spell, which, as I said, we're going to do that often. Also, for gloves, I think it's best to put on the Gloves of Soul Catching, but there is some that deal cold damage or radiant damage that you can get earlier on. The Gloves of Soul Catching, huge, deals an additional 1 to 10 force damage when we do a melee attack with our hands. And then we also regain 10 health points, or we can get advantage on attack rolls and saving throws. It'll also give us a plus 200 Constitution. I am wearing the Constitution Amulet though, but you can also go with like the Amulet of Ball. There's also the Sentient Amulet, which gives us Key Restoration, so that's a really good one. There's a quest line associated to that. I also want the Mask of Soul Perception, plus 2 to attack rolls, initiative rolls, and perception checks. Getting an increased initiative is really big, so you can go with the Assassin Ball Cloak too if you want, but I think that the Mask of Soul Perception just works well. It looks kind of silly, but it does fit with the theming of this. I want the Deathstalker Mantle, so when you kill an enemy, shred yourself in invisibility for 2 turns. This is only exclusive to the Dark Urge, so if you're not the Dark Urge, the Cloak of Protection is great. But even something like the Shade Slayer Cloak, which will give you an increased critical hit chance, is really nice. So you could go with that as well. For the boots of Uninhibited Kashigo deals additional damage to their Wisdom modifier with unarmed strikes. So that's why we want to basically be unarmed most of the time, because we're going to deal more damage that way. I also want the Ring of Protection, so we get a nice 21 armor class, and we have increased chance to succeed saving throws against spells, so we're pretty useful here. And then also the Killer Sweetheart on there, so there's that. But typically what we're going to be doing when we get into combat, you want to make sure that you have your reaction set from the monk. So these passives you can turn on, so you got to make sure that they are active whenever you go into your character here. So you can see all the different options that we got here. And I guess the passive is down under here. So click on the bottom and the passive. So you can choose Manifestation Body, Mind, and Soul. So we're going to put on the Manifestation of the Mind there. And then I guess I have the Resonance Stone, so I can transport that to Astarion here. And now Astarion's got it, and everyone's going to be weak to psychic damage, so we're going to deal further damage. Also, you want to be drinking a strength potion, because that's just going to increase your overall damage. So early game, you can buy them from Auntie Ethel to say your strength to 21. In Act 3, you can find these at a variety of vendors. They're very useful. Set your strength to 27, so that's pretty much the highest we can get it. And then as you can see, our Flurry of Blows deals upwards of 88 damage. So to take this a step further, if you ascend Astarion, you can actually get him to deal an additional 1d10 of damage on that strike. So that pushes us well over the 100 damage mark, which is just incredible. So you can also go with the Vampire Bite to give yourself an extra... Give yourself the happy. So Astarion's happy, gives +1 attack rolls and ability checks, which is nice, gets a higher hit chance. But basically, when we go into combat, we want to be doing unarmed strikes. We got our Stunning Strike here, which this will possibly stun the target, which is really nice. So you can go in and attack with that, and then you can stun them. So when they're stunned, they don't take actions, bonus actions, or reactions. Really nice crowd control. But typically, one of the things that we want to do is we want to get the key resonation punches here. So whenever we do this, you're going to go punch with that. It deals a good amount of damage. And then you can go with our key resonation blast, which deals a huge area of effect damage to all these people around here. Unfortunately, they're teammates right now, so they don't take that damage. Minsk is shaving his head there. But yeah, that would deal a ton of damage to the enemies in the area, 3d6 damage. But overall, Flurry of Blows topple is kind of like what you want to be doing. You can see we're able to take her out there. You can stagger the target as well, so there's a few different options. The prone one's nice. We hit him for 78 damage. That's crazy. So yeah, you can go in, do your actions, basically just go in and punch people a bunch. And again, this would deal even further damage if we had, yeah, it was 2 punches, so our action already almost took out Halsin. Oh, we accidentally started a conversation there, but basically, yeah, you want to punch, even do the key resonation punch if there's someone in an area around there. And then once you got the, once you use up your 2 actions, you do have 2 bonus actions. And then you even have a further 3rd bonus action here if we use the Wholeness of Body. So once we run out of key points, we can basically regain them all again. So Flurry of Blows can basically take people out in 1 shot there, and you can possibly knock the target prone. So we were able to take her out in just 2 bonus actions. So 2 punches, 2 bonus actions, most people are taken out. But you even go with the Wholeness of Body here, and this will further increase our damage. So that gives us some healing, and then we can go and knock people prone with our 3rd bonus action. So we almost took out the Duke there with 1 bonus action. That is crazy. And then for our 2nd bonus action, we can take them out. So that's literally busted, the amount of damage that we deal. It's crazy. So the nice thing is we got a lot of extra movement speed as well, and then we can also go and stun targets like this. So we can go and stun, and he didn't succeed on the stun save, so then we can, I guess, just attack again, go with another Flurry of Blows, and we can knock out literally everyone. So he usually heals himself, so I haven't been able to do that before. I'm not going to attack the Owlbear Cub, but this is the strongest build in Baldur's Gate 3, and the strongest build for Astarion. He's actually the strongest to take this because you can ascend him and give him even further damage on that attack. He gets an additional 1d10 damage, so that becomes busted. Yeah, this build is extremely useful and really nice. You can heal yourself, deal a ton of damage, and you literally just do punches twice. Like, we were able to take out the Duke in 2 attacks. He has 116 health. And then Arnel Howleaf, which normally would heal himself back to full, we were able to take him out. So that just goes to show how powerful this build guide is. The Monk 9 Rogue Thief 3 is incredibly useful. So yeah, if you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a blessed day, and I'll see you all in the next video.